This is probably going to be a long one, but let's get into it. This is the story of our first backpacking trip. We went to Big Bend National Park along with our two good buddies, Eric and Sabra. We were in the park for 5 days, but out in the backcountry on trail for 3. It was such an amazing experience. I hope that this video does the park justice. This trip, this place was just really, really special. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. So let's back it up. We had been planning and preparing for this trip for about 5 months. So to say we were eager to get out there is kind of an understatement. But we were also pretty apprehensive of the physical demands. Not even really about the mileage or maybe the elevation gain, but just doing all of that while carrying in all of our gear, all of our food, all of our water, and everything you would possibly need. Especially being beginners. You know, we'd never done this before. We don't know really what to expect. But I mean, at that point, all that was really left to do was just to get out there and do the thing. Big Bend National Park is on the edge of Texas, hugging the Rio Grande with Mexico just in sight in some places. We set up camp that first night in the Chisos Basin campground, which sits above the desert floor and was actually really quite cold once the sun had set. And then it was finally time. Day 1. We would climb about, I think, somewhere between 1,600 and 1,700 feet in elevation, and the hike was about 5 or so miles long. Today's gain would be the highest, and also our packs the heaviest, each of us carrying about 10 liters of water each, easily doubling our base weight to anywhere between 40 and 50 pounds.
I mean, it looks like you could at any moment see a pterodactyl flying. And that's what Big Bend reminds me of, just this like prehistoric playground.
This first day was one of the hardest physical limits I've ever pushed myself to. I mean, it was so demoralizing. Carrying all of that weight, I wasn't really prepared for the toll it would take. I didn't know if I could even really actually do it. But I had a great group of friends, and they literally got me to the top. I mean, literally. Thank you to Eric and Sabra and Jared. You're the greatest. Finally making it to Boot Canyon after such a hard day and walking into the campsite was, I mean, an unspeakable relief. It was incredible. While planning for this trip, we had gone back and forth about whether or not we would take the time to climb Emery Peak, which is the tallest point in Texas. And actually, we passed the trailhead for it on our way to our campsite in Boot Canyon. But after resting for a few hours at camp, we just thought, you know, who knew when we'd be back here again? We were a few miles out from summit, and we could go up without all of the weight from our packs. We caught the sunset on Emery.
Can you even see that village down there? Zoom in, it's gonna feel like nothing.
Good job,
champ.
blazing the trail.
He's pretty stinking high.
No way.
Mom!
Hey, Eric's mom.
Hello!
Hi.
Hey! We're on top of a mountain.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we started out on day 2. Already just from boiling water we needed for food and coffee and just drinking lots of water, our packs were getting lighter. I was feeling hopeful about the future and things were looking good.
But I have about 4.5 liters.
I'm carrying 5. So.
I think we'll be good. Especially if I skipped oatmeal today.
I just think you should dump another ½ liter.
We said goodbye to Boot Canyon and climbed our way up and out towards the south rim that morning.
Sick ride.
Sabra, say hi. Good job, Eric. Good job, Jared.
We stayed here for about an hour, just resting and getting lunch, taking in the sights, the view. But soon after, we trekked on. We made it to Laguna Meadows, our next campsite after 6 miles and just a couple hundred feet in elevation. Setting up camp started to feel more streamlined the more we built and tore down. We even made such great time getting to camp, we all ended up taking a nap that afternoon.
I don't think I'm gonna find it. Yes.
Okay, yeah, good call.
Okay. Alright. Little camera. Hey, should I just replace that?
No.
No.
Because that's -1. If you replace it, it's...
I would put it here.
Replace that.
But that's
Well,
bad, right?
Replace this.
The ish-
you would be
Replace the 9.
done.
Replace your high number.
yeah, I do
Okay.
9. I wouldn't go out yet, because that's a lot to go out with, so...
Okay.
Good morning. It's our last day on trail. We have about 4 or so miles to hike today. And then we'll be back at Chisos Basin Campground. I'm very excited for lunch. We're gonna eat at the lodge. I'm very excited. Okay, that's all for now. get rid of that water.
Side saddle.
You're exactly right.
Parkour.
Jared left a message for the next campers here. Sleep. And there's a little guy sleeping. Our third and final day on trail had come. With our packs the lightest all trip and our trail taking us downhill for 5 miles to the basin, we were nearly flying off this mountain.
Good. Yeah, good fun.
I got a little back pain, but nothing I can't handle.
Eventually, our feet hit pavement again, and we were back at the car in a few hours. And just like that, we had completed our first backpacking trip.
Woo! Made it!
We were so excited to be eating lunch at the lodge. I can't even tell you. You know, we're eating dehydrated meals, and I had 500 Cliff Bars, but we got to camp too early. We got to the lodge at least too early. The restaurant didn't open till like 2, and we got there at 11. So we drove to the nearest town to the park, Terlingua, and grabbed some lunch at a little dive there. And I will confess, I strayed from my vegan diet like a hard pivot. And as we came back into the park, we decided to swing by Santa Elena Canyon. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, this is the dirtiest we've been. Hee hee! Saber and I managed to toast to ourselves from the bar, and we all feasted on chips and hummus that night. To cap the day off, we took to the Window Trail to catch our last sunset in Big Bend. This might have been my favorite moment of the whole trip. This is so special. Jared, how do you feel about this being our last morning in Big Bend?
A little bittersweet, but I guess I'm ready to have a shower.
Yeah.
Starbucks. Let's go to Starbucks.
Let's go to Starbucks. See what they've got.
On our last day, we decided to go off-road a bit and catch one more trail before officially leaving the park. This time in the desert, since we had seen so much of the mountains already. 2 miles of hiking in that hot sun, and we made it up to see Balancing Rock. How do you feel, Sabra?
Burnt to crisp.
Cool shots, Jared?
I'm about to get a cool shot.
We finally left Big Bend and spent the rest of the day back in Terlingua, Texas. We grabbed lunch and picked up some souvenirs and just took our time exploring the area. We had some time to kill before going to our Airbnb.
To Chloe from Terlingwood, Texas. Call this one the Giddy Up.
No friggin' way. Are we doing it? That night we made it to our Airbnb. We took showers, our first showers. We watched movies, we made tacos. We even stargazed for a bit too. It was pretty amazing. The next morning we got up early and packed up everything and started our drive home. I hope anyone watching will be, I don't know, if not going to Big Bend, get your morning coffee and go sit on the balcony and just breathe in the morning air, or go to the park after work and just take a little walk, or take a weekend trip and go to a state park and just take in the natural surroundings in the local area that you're at, because there's a lot to see and there's a lot of ways that it can change you. Thank you for watching this very long video. I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.